Hey everybody, it's Andrew Sage here, and I am the executive sponsor for sustainability in Cisco's partner organization, and I've got a really great interview lined up here with Stephen Kelly, who's the Vice President of Sustainability at our great partner NTT DATA. Now, NTT DATA is here with me today because they share a really powerful commitment to sustainability, and in fact have been on this journey as long as we have at Cisco. And by the way, along the way, Stephen and NTT DATA have been recognized multiple times. I think we may talk a little bit about that, Stephen. So, welcome to the broadcast.
Thanks very much, Andrew. Great to be here.
So, we're here at Cisco Live, and there is a buzz around sustainability for sure. What we see in almost every conversation is, of course, a discussion of how can technology help transform our customers' businesses, but within every one of those conversations, there is a topic around sustainability. How do we reduce our emissions? How do we reduce the waste that we produce? And this has become a really important connection between Cisco, our partners, and our customers. And Cisco takes this very seriously. We've been focused on sustainability for a number of years. We've got very aggressive net zero emissions targets, and our friends at NTT also share that same goal. You know, as we talk more and more about AI in every conversation that we've been having, my concern begins to grow about our targets, whether we'll be able to make them, whether IT will increase from creating 2 to 3% of global emissions to potentially more. We've got a real challenge, we've got to really focus on it, and so I'm going to turn it over now to Stephen and ask the question, when did your journey around sustainability start? How did it begin? Share a bit of that with us.
Yeah, so I think the journey started probably 4 or 5 years ago. I think like a lot of people, COVID kind of got people to reset the way they thought. You know, I've been in the industry for close to 30 years now, and I've seen customers go through transformations, but really, as the market has evolved, you started to feel that sustainability was a lot of people were talking about it, very little people were actually driving actionable outcomes with it. So I actually went to the business within NTT and said, look, I want to be the executive sponsor in the UK and Ireland business around sustainability. It's something I'm really passionate about. I want to go on a learning journey. And I went out to the business and said, look guys, I'm going to go on a learning journey. Does anyone else want to join me? And like nearly 40 colleagues joined. We started up 3 tribes. How do we focus on our own internal impact on our own people? How do we work more closely with our partners and understand our common goals? And then how do we bring stuff to market that can really help our clients? And it's been a really exciting journey. It's been at times a frustrating one.
Yeah,
because there's times where you know people. It's like, how do you connect people's passion with their profession? And I think one of the things I've loved about working with Cisco is you see that partnership and purpose coming together with the right people is unstoppable. And I think certainly this week, meeting you guys, over the last number of months, meeting the sustainability business leaders across Cisco, you can see the level of commitment. It's really inspiring.
Excellent. Yeah, and we've had some great discussions and brainstormed some very cool things we can do together, and I look forward to making all of those happen. And we share that same idea that this is an opportunity for us as well as an obligation for us. A lot of the discussion's been around technology, and how does technology enable customers to accomplish their sustainability goals. And so when you think about what you're bringing to market with NTT, how does the Cisco technology aspect come into what you guys are doing?
Well, it's critical because one of the big struggles that everyone's having at the moment is understanding their carbon footprint, understanding the impact on the planet, understanding how to drive optimization. And to do that, you're going to need connectivity. You're going to need secure access to data in real time to be able to make better decisions. And that's a real problem in the sustainability space, is getting that access to data. Clients are struggling. They've come up with their goals across their scope 1, 2, and 3. They've made their commitments, and now they're starting to realize how difficult that is to measure. Now, one of the ways of doing that is instrumentation, ingesting that data and making smarter real-time decisions, as opposed to at the end of a year when you're reporting and going, oh, we've got this huge carbon problem here, what are we going to do next year? Because the time is coming really fast to hit those commitments.
Yeah. And I love that you've got this 3-pillar strategy that you shared with me yesterday. That collection of data is at the top, I think, and then you've got 2 other elements to that strategy. Do you want to quickly share with folks what those are?
Yeah, so the 3 areas that my team are going to focus on is the development of a more in-depth carbon calculator, because a lot of what we see in the marketplace today is around spend-based, around activity-based, and we know there's challenges there. So how do we really help our clients move to the next level? The second part is around circularity. We're seeing an awareness starting to raise around the scarcity of rare earth metals, rare earth minerals and metals. Some of them, and you touched on it exactly the same as me, the AI, can be a fantastic enabler for a business, but also, when it's using 10 times the amount of carbon as a non-AI solution, you've got to really make sure that you're using it for the right reasons, but they're going to consume a lot of those rare earth metals.
Yep.
There's from a supply perspective, a risk perspective, companies are now starting to sit up and go, oh, hang on a second. So how do we treat that technology with the respect it deserves to make sure we take that stuff back? And we call it urban mining. So
right.
Instead of digging into the earth, how do we recover the stuff? And again, you guys are really, really active in that space as well. And the third part is like what we call smart for sustainability. So actually, how do you drive that instrumentation, that IoT solution? We've got a great partnership with you guys around private 5G, so able to reach areas that historically we haven't been able to reach before, get that data in. We see edge computing start to really scale up in the marketplaces, again, giving people the ability to make real-time decisions. So if we compare that with the carbon data, studies recently have shown people are 3 times more likely to drive optimization if they give them a carbon target than a money target.
Right.
Not that we don't all love to save our companies money, but I think when people realize actually you can save carbon and understand things in your day-to-day job that you can do can make a difference, I think we're going to see a real shift.
Oh, fantastic. Really exciting. I wish we had more time to talk, especially about the solutions, smart buildings, and some of the great things you guys are doing. I want to thank you, by the way, for participating in the programs that we've launched. I believe you're sustainability specialized in 30 countries.
Yeah.
Really fantastic. The engagement is great. The partnership is really, really amazing. So I've got one closing question. Tom and Luke. Who are Tom and Luke? I've heard these names before, Stephen.
Yeah, so I get into trouble. Myself and my wife are big Bruce Springsteen fans, and there's a song he's got called The Wrestler, and one of the lines in it is, if you've seen a one-trick pony, you've seen me. And my colleagues say, will you stop talking about Tom and Luke? So Tom and Luke are my 2 13-year-old twins, but they're genuinely the inspiration behind me moving from what's been predominantly a sales career into sustainability. I genuinely just sat there and went, when they're 22 years of age and they're facing into some of the things that we think they're going to face into, and they turned around and they go, Dad, what did you try and do? I kind of went, I need to make a difference. I need to try and make a difference. And so every week they hold me to account. They go, Daddy, what did you do this week? So this is going to be the highlight of the week, so thank you very much for this.
Fantastic. Well, I think you can confidently say to Tom and Luke that you did a lot this week. So thank you, Stephen, for the conversation. I really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for your time and attention. And if you're watching as a Cisco partner, we've got a couple of things up on the screen now that you can check out around our Take Back and Reuse program and around our sustainability specialization. So let's get engaged and move forward.